Hey there, Nancy Drew Clue crew, or all you Nancy Drew fans, watchers out there. I'm Maura, or HA Fan Forever, as my username is on here, and welcome to my first walkthrough of the Nancy Drew game series. I have been playing Nancy Drew games, the Nancy Drew game series from Her Interactive for over 20 years now, since I was 13. I have always wanted to actually make walkthroughs of them, like my most favorite YouTuber and ND gamer, Arglefump, but never really took the initiative to learn to do it, especially because I didn't understand how you make recordings of your computer screens after you play games. But after getting some tips from Arglefump this week and practicing using some software he recommended, and with some other games that I've tried, even on my Mac. This is my old Windows laptop on which I'm currently playing this game. I decided to go ahead and give it a shot, so here I'll start with a walkthrough of the very first game I ever played and solved, Treasure in the Royal Tower, which has since become one of my favorites. So I'll start off, new game.
Hi there, it's me, Nancy Drew. You're just in time for my latest mystery, Treasure in the Royal Tower. Choose your difficulty level to start off. If you're new to
okay, so while I've been playing these for years now, I never play on Senior Detective because as the games progress and they become more challenging with the puzzles, if you choose to play it on Senior Detective, those take longer and are more trying. Junior Detective just makes it easier for me, even though I don't consider myself junior anymore, but I just want to save the troubles, so I'm just going to play as a Junior Detective, bada bing.
Dear George, so much for my Wisconsin ski vacation. I arrived here at Wickford Castle last night, just before a blizzard swept in. The mountain is completely shut down, and the surrounding roads are closed. I think I'm one of the few guests who made it to the castle at all. The place is huge and old, and slightly creepy under the circumstances. You should hear this wind. What's more, the owner, Christy Lane, my father's friend, is away on business. I tried to ask the caretaker, Dexter Egan, how I could contact her, but he said he didn't know. Doesn't that seem odd? I couldn't help feeling like there was something he wasn't telling me. All this makes me a little nervous, but I'm determined to enjoy myself. After all, this is a vacation, right? I have big plans to explore the castle. That Ezra Wickford, the original owner, must have been quite a character to have built such an extraordinary place. It's filled with strange, dead-end corridors, for one thing. And I noticed one of the towers is totally different from the other ones. Of course, I'll have to save some time to meet Jacques Brunet, the French ski instructor. Tell Beth she'll be the first to know if he's half as gorgeous in person as he looks on his website. So, George, I guess things never quite go according to plan, but at least this time, the culprit is just a snowstorm. Talk to you soon. Love, Nancy. Now all I need is a mailbox.
Alright, here we are at the beginning. Now let's just start with grabbing Nancy's room key. And let's take a look here in this drawer, see what it says. So Nancy will have locker 310, combination is 517. We hear a funny noise in the room. Let's see what it is.
Sounds
the
like
radiator is broken. Here we can check out the drawer, and there's a menu in here. Baby back ribs, fried chicken drumsticks. Those both sound pretty good. I could go for a hot dog, but no chili cheese dog, thank you. Chocolate mayhem, that sounds heaven to me. We'll take this, apparently we can pick it up and may come in use later. Now let's go to Nancy's suitcase. Look at this pamphlet. Ezra Wickford, creator of chocolate milk. Alright. Oh, we're bound to have an adventure, alright. If you're Nancy Drew, you're bound to have an adventure no matter where you are. And look at her, Senior Sassy Detective magazine. Let's see what kind of clue it has for us today. And discovering fingerprints, like how fingerprints can tell us keypad access codes. So first is the darkest and the lightest is the last. Let's see how that comes in handy later. Now, let's see if we can get this letter off our hand by first going to Dexter, who is right here.
Hello, Miss Drew. Did you get squared away upstairs?
Yes, thanks, Mr. Egan. My room is charming, but I think there's something wrong with my radiator. It hisses, and there's a clanging noise, too. Would you mind checking it out for me?
Sorry about that inconvenience, but you're just gonna have to sit tight for a while. I'm the only one on duty while the owner's away. And around here it seems like even if it ain't broke, it still needs fixing. Last time I checked, there were only 24 hours in a day. And now to make matters worse, there have been a couple of incidents.
I hope it's nothing serious. The owner, Christy Lane, is a friend of my father's, and I know how much she loves this castle.
Everything's under control. Is there something else, Miss Drew?
Alright, let's tell him we need a stamp so we can get rid of this letter.
I just need a stamp to send this letter, and then I'll be off to explore the castle.
Well, I can take your letter, but the mail's not going anywhere for a while. It's snowing like there's no tomorrow out there. So explore all you want. Take the grand tour. But forget about the library. It's off limits.
Notice the way he says library as library. So, why is it off limits?
Off limits?
Someone vandalized our historic library. Really turned the place upside down. The owner, Miss Lane, she's gonna be pretty upset.
Why would anyone want to vandalize the library?
I have no idea. I straightened up in there before check-in yesterday and everything was fine. Now it looks like a bomb went off. Books everywhere, and somebody hacked a big hole in one of the walls. I locked the place up and called the police, but who knows when they'll be able to get here.
Wow, a hole in the wall? What do you think they were looking for?
I can't tell, but somebody's definitely after something.
What else has gone wrong?
Well, this Professor Hotchkiss just called me in a terrible flap, saying our room's been robbed. I went up there, but she wouldn't open the door to talk about it. Wouldn't even tell me what was missing. So what's she want me to do about it?
Well, is there a way we can help?
Sounds like you're swamped, Mr. Egan. Is there any way I can help?
Well, Hotchkiss has a pair of ski boots in the basement. The Frenchman's been working on them for her, but he won't deliver them. Says he's a ski instructor, not a bellhop. I hate to ask this, but if you could grab those boots and bring them up to her, it might smooth her feathers. Sure would smooth mine.
Okay.
Can you do something about my radiator?
Sorry, not yet.
So, how long have you been working here?
A while.
A while, yeah,
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
Goodbye.
I should let you guys know ahead of time that this is the first time I'm doing any kind of narration, so I'm not used to watching myself or hearing myself on camera, so you might hear some of my own little quirks like clearing my throat or blowing my nose. I apologize for that, but I'm not always consciously aware of what I do. I'll try to make sure I don't frighten anybody or gross anyone out, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. Okay, so let's go do the task he asked for us. You notice here, though, it's too dark.
It's too dark. I should take the elevator.
So we'll have to take the elevator, which is already on the top floor, so we'll just go. Okay, over the years I've come across like these sometimes finding random sounds in these games, and they never seem to pop up when you want them to, or it's just unexpected. You don't know. So this little burp, I don't know what it is or who it is, because like I said, older games like this, you might get a random sound once in a while when you play it, but you never know when. You can't expect it. So nice to see I caught it, though, because I was actually hoping I could make a little humorous point about it. Okay, so here's the elevator, and when you cross over, there's the familiar the typing sound of Professor Hotchkiss in her room. So now let's go into the elevator. You can close up and see the model number. Now let's go to the basement.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Je m'appelle Jacques Brunet. So, what brings you to beautiful Wisconsin?
Hi, I'm Nancy. I came to ski, but it looks like I'm going to have to find other ways to entertain myself. I told Mr. Egan I would bring Professor Hotchkiss her boots. Are they ready?
Yes, I fixed our boots. But you should be relaxing by the fire, sipping cocoa, Nancy. Not running errands for Dexter. Why is it you American girls never know how to separate business from pleasure?
What about you, Jacques? Do you give skiing lessons in Wisconsin for business or pleasure?
Well, with the weather so terrible, I suppose I get neither. But you see, I am here for Isabelle, mon petit chou. She's an American studying at the university in Madison, and I've asked her to marry me. That is excuse enough to be in Wisconsin, n'est-ce pas? And besides, I am not the first French work of art to end up here.
Ah, so you came halfway across the world for love. That's a fine excuse. So, when's the wedding?
As soon as possible.
Seems a little panicky there. Is he hiding something?
Are you the eager one, or is she?
Do not ask me about the affairs of my heart, Nancy, or I will think you are trying to steal it. But tell me, how will you spend your time here, Nancy?
I'm dying to have a look inside that library. I heard it was vandalized. Do you know anything?
Nancy, a pretty girl should not worry herself with this type of thing while she is on vacation. I should warn you, Dexter is very protective of this place. He does not take kindly to people snooping around where they should not.
Don't worry, Jacques. The last thing I want to do is get myself grounded.
Ciao!
Okay, here are the lockers. Let's open with ours.
The combination is 517, but it's not working. I wonder if the lock is broken.
Okay, and over here at the employees' lockers, we can get a close-up on Jacques, so there must be a reason why. Now, try to go outside, you can't.
It's like the North Pole out there.
Okay, let's go deliver these to Professor Hotchkiss. Okay, and up to the second floor we go. Over here, yeah. Type.
Yes, hello? Is that Jacques with my boots?
Actually, it's Nancy Drew. But I do have your boots for you.
Oh, good. Boots, fine. Thank you. Everything is fine. Just leave the boots at the door, please. Oh, and it seems I'm out of change. I'll just have to tip you the next time, Mandy.
It's Nancy, and I'm happy to leave the boots. But if you're not too busy, Professor, I'd just like to introduce myself properly and ask you a couple of questions.
Questions, yes, and proper introduction sounds lovely, but not now, maybe later.
Okay, let's, put our boots in front of the door. And notice, you turn around then they're gone. So that was obviously her getting them out of the room. Okay, let's just explore like anything, see if these corners of the floors have anything to show us.
Dead end.
Dead end. What for?
I've hit the wall.
Okay. Let's go tell Dexter that the boots were delivered.
Can I help you?
About my radiator, Mr. Egan. Do you think you'll be able to fix it anytime soon?
Sorry, not yet. Hotchkiss called to report that she got her boots. But now I'm told that the light is out in the back stairwell. Could you check the circuit breaker in the basement and make sure it's working?
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
You're a trooper.
Alright, go take the elevator again down to the basement. Okay, so Jacques is gone from 12 to 2.
Jacques must be gone.
Alright. Circuit breaker is over here. And, despite what I used to do in the past and what some other gamers have done on walkthroughs, you don't need to push all of these. Well, you can't push all of these because you get that.
Turn them back on.
Oh, Jacques is talking. I thought he was gone. You don't need to put all these back. You just need that one. So there it is, and that should work. Let's see if it did. Yep, and there we are. Before I go talk to Dexter, let's speak to this woman, Lisa Ostrom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. Did you hear what happened? Someone broke into the library and vandalized it. Dexter locked it up. He's saying the culprit must be one of us in the castle. Can you believe it?
Yeah, Dexter just told me the library is a disaster area and that it's totally off limits.
Too bad, huh? I'm dying to see what they did to it. Don't quote me on this, but I think Dexter has an extra key to the library somewhere around his desk.
I guess you've really got your finger on the pulse around here. Any other castle scandal I should know about?
Oh, we got scandal, honey. Professor Hotchkiss is claiming she's been robbed, for one thing. But the real scandal is downstairs. His name is Jacques Brunet.
So what's with Jacques Brunet?
What's the scandal with Jacques Brunet?
Va-va-voom! Scandalous cuteness, of course. Didn't you watch the last Winter Olympics? He's France's big cheese of skiing. He holds the record for the 500-meter slalom, but he totally choked at the games. I guess he's washed up now, but at least his looks haven't gone down the tubes.
So who's Professor Hotchkiss?
Oh my gosh! Wait till you hear this! Hotchkiss is this nutty old woman who's always typing and talking to herself in her room. I was walking past her door earlier, and I heard her screaming that her room had been robbed.
You said she's a professor. Do you know what she teaches?
I'm really not sure. She just kept wailing, "My theory! My theory!" I think she teaches history, or maybe a foreign language. I thought I heard a couple of French words pop out of her mouth. But don't quote me on that either. I only barely passed Spanish in high school.
Do you have a theory about all this?
Hardly. I'm just a humble photojournalist covering weird old mansions in the Midwest, and this place is one of the weirdest. Did you know Ezra Wickford, the original owner, shut himself away in here for like 50 years?
You must know a great deal about this place.
Not really, but I sure want to get into that tower that came from France. It'd be great for my story. Too bad Wickford sealed it off. Maybe it's his ghost making those creepy noises at night.
What noises?
Oh, just your average bump in the night sound effects. It's probably just Dexter trying to spook up the hotel for the publicity. I mean, did we stumble onto the set of As the Castle Turns or what? Well, you probably want to get settled. I wonder what we're going to do with ourselves while we're all cooped up in this place.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Stay warm.
Okay, now let's tell Dexter we fixed the circuit breaker.
Yes?
I don't want to pester you, Mr. Egan, but the radiator...
Thanks for dealing with the circuit breaker. Okay, we're really making progress here, kid. So, you go up to Hotchkiss's room and see what she wants for dinner. She's not answering her phone.
No problem, boss.
Alright.
Virginia Woolf never endured such interruptions. Who is it?
It's Nancy again. Dexter needs to know what you want for dinner.
No hard to think of food candy when I'm riding the raging rapids of my theory. Oh, right now, I have plenty of pre-packaged energy globules to keep me going. But tell Baxter Dexter, that I am developing a powerful craving for couscous. Yes, couscous for dinner would be splendid. I'll have a nice tip for you next time, Fanny.
Oh, she can't remember Nancy's name. Isn't that annoying? Okay. So I never had it myself, much less really seen it, but I first learned of the food couscous from this game. You'd be surprised actually what little interesting pieces of information I learned from these games. In fact, when I get around to doing a walkthrough of it, I'll show you another game that inspired a little bit of, it gave me some educational information. So there, let's start.
Yes.
The professor says she has a hankering for, couscous.
Couscous? Never heard of it. Tell her to order something off the menu.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
You're a trooper.
So, we have that menu, let's give it to her.
Is that my couscous already?
Sorry, Professor, but there's no couscous in the house. You'll need to choose something from the hotel menu.
Well, I don't have a menu. At least not from this hotel. Oh, be a doll and fetch me one, will you, Ta-ta? Did you get the menu?
Yes.
Sure did. How about opening the door so I can give it to you?
Oh, you're a sneaky one. Just slip it under the door, please. Nice and easy. No funny stuff.
Alright, there you go.
Baby back ribs, yes. Oh, chili cheese dog, fried bologna sandwich. I'm not usually much of a meat eater, but very well. 50 drumsticks, please. Chicken, that is. Cluck, cluck.
Not much of a meat eater, yet you order 50 drumsticks? Oh, brother.
Sure. 50 drumsticks. Whatever makes you happy.
Rock and roll, dear.
Rock and roll, dear. Alright, let's tell Dexter that.
Can I help you?
The professor has changed her order. Seems she's developed an appetite for chicken drumsticks. 50 of them.
Okay then. Drumsticks we got. Oops. But I guess Jock better take that bag of chicken legs out of the freezer. Will you tell him? And then take the rest of the day off, kid. Your radiator's as good as fixed.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
Alrighty then.
Alright, so it's after 2, Jacques will be back, so let's tell him.
It's locked.
Oh, right. The basement. Okay. Let's see.
Hello there,
Deadhead. My name's Nancy Drew. Nice to introduce yourself to the dead end. Alright, now let's tell him.
Ah, Nancy, comment ça va?
Tell me about these boxes you're making.
When I am not skiing, I need some other way to express myself. So voila! I make these home boxes for keeping secrets safe. I'm sure you have many secrets, Nancy.
Lisa told me you were in the Olympics. What was that like?
Disappointing, frustrating, humiliating.
Sounds like one of those valuable learning experiences you might never live down.
Oh, you said it, Nancy. It was the worst day of my life. To fall flat on my face with my family, my country, and the rest of the world watching.
Do you know much about the tower that's closed off? I heard the original owner imported it from France.
It comes from the Chateau Rochemont in a town in France near where I grew up. Marie Antoinette used to visit this tower when she was Queen of France. Until she lost her head in the Revolution, that is.
Dexter needs you to defrost that big bag of chicken legs.
Oh, la la la, what does he think I am? A sous chef?
Dexter told me the combination to my locker, number 310, is 517. I tried it, but the locker won't open.
Dexter must be confused, because I think that is the combination for number 311. Try 311.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Alright, let's open her up. Oh, but it's already occupied. And whose stuff in this? Is this? It's Lisa's? And she seems to be carrying some fake IDs. Ooh, isn't that illegal or isn't that wrong? Let's see. Ooh, here's something I want to point out. February 30th, there's no such date. Lisa said she barely passed Spanish in high school, yet this whole letter is in Spanish. Should we be looking at Lisa closely? That's done. So, let's go back upstairs. Maybe I'll talk to her about her bag. Oh no, the elevator's stuck.
It's stuck.
Now, normally we might wonder what to do, but luckily, if you turn around, there's a door into the elevator shaft. Look, there's a ventilation duct with the case cover falling off.
I'm not sure if I can make it.
Let's not jump. Looks like, luckily, we're pretty close to the door on the second floor where the elevator will park. So let's just step on this box and get her alley-oop out of there.
Alley-oop!
Oh, no sound. Sounds like Dexter fixed the radiator. And look, here is a can of oil. Let's take it. We'll probably need it for something. Okay, nothing to report here, but when we do get voicemail messages, this will be lit up. So, everyone leaves at a certain time, at least 3 of them do. There's no schedule, but I had to figure it out on my own. Lisa will leave at 4 o'clock, so let's talk to her now before she leaves.
Hi there, how's it going?
So tell me more about the life of a photojournalist. It must be very glamorous at times.
Well, there's nothing glamorous about the pay, I can tell you that much.
There was a little mix-up with the lockers, and I accidentally opened yours.
Yeah, and?
It seems you have more than one identity, Lisa. I'm just wondering if you are who you say you are.
A savvy photojournalist always carries a couple of alternate identities, Nancy. When you're working under deadline, you don't always have time to play by the rules. I'm sure you know what I mean.
Does your job take you to exotic, far-off places?
Well, there is a lot of travel. Too bad I'm so useless with foreign languages.
How useless, though? I feel like there's something she's not telling me.
I'm dying to find a way into that tower. Where do they usually hide the secret entrances in weird old Midwestern mansions?
I guess I should know, shouldn't I? Too bad most of the places I've covered aren't any weirder than imitation butter. I wish you'd hurry up and find it, though, so we can check it out.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Stay warm.
So something I haven't pointed out yet is that this castle includes that tower that from France that was imported when Ezra Wickford bought it and transported here to America with the castle. So it looks like for part of the mystery, we're going to have to find a way into the tower.
Did you see I fixed your radiator?
Yep.
I was in the elevator and it got stuck between floors. I had to climb out the top and I just barely made it up to the floor above. Do you think you'll be able to fix it?
Well, I doubt it's broken. I'll check the power switch in the basement. Glad you're okay. But don't go climbing around the elevator shaft anymore. It's dangerous in there.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
Bye, kiddo.
Okay, now that that's done, let's talk to Professor Hotchkiss again.
Is that you, Brandy? Oh, I'm glad you're
Still
here.
not getting the name
At the
right.
moment, my theory is rising like a magnificent souffle. I need to collect a few more ingredients, if you will, but it's a delicate situation. If I leave my room even for a moment, I fear the souffle will come crashing down in a heap.
What do you need me for, Professor?
What I need is some information about the castle. Hard numbers. I've come to the conclusion that you are an enterprising and faithful soul. Therefore, I have decided to entrust you with this important mission. Who knows? If you succeed, I might whisk you away from the hotel business to be my personal research assistant.
Well, Professor Hotchkiss, I'm not actually in the hotel business, but I'd love to help.
Marvelous! Here's what I need to know. How many days before her 38th birthday was Marie Antoinette executed? I'll be very eager to hear what you come up with. But please, don't disturb me unless you have the answer.
Okay, so whenever you play this game, the questions she could ask are random. There's only one I've never been able to solve, but luckily this is a solvable one, and I'll show you how you can find the answer. I've memorized the answer. Okay, so it's 4 o'clock, so Lisa left. You find the answers about anything she asks about Marie Antoinette, well, you'll find here. Let's see. So this is her early life when she married, and that's more about her. The next, let's see, book 2 is more about the French Revolution. Let's see. So November 2nd, and let's see. So she was executed on the 16th, which was 17 days before her 38th birthday. So we'll report that back to her. Yeah, this is more about the French Revolution. Okay, so let's make this report back to her.
Yes, did you find the information I asked you for?
Sure did.
Good, but I need you to write it down so I don't forget.
Alright, so you just type it in here, so I think 17, and if you get it right, she'll open the door for
Thank you. Let me do some calculations to see if this is correct. Eureka! If there's one thing I like in a young person, it's ingenuity. Now, I've got work to do. Time to stir the cauldron and stoke the fire. But if you'd like to talk, I'll be holding office hours in the lobby between 3 and 6 a.m. Meet me then.
Jeez, she spends almost all of her time typing, and she has office hours for 3 hours early in the morning. Doesn't she ever sleep? Okay, let me think what to do next. Okay, so back to the elevator. Can't use it yet because it's stuck. So it's stuck. Luckily, it's not broken, because we do need to get back into it for a purpose. Let me show you. And as I said, it's not broken, but it needs to be reset, and that's what this lever here does. However, because it's still stuck, we'll have to call it down to us.
It's locked.
So that's locked, and we have to use this button here to pull it down. So now that we're on the bottom floor, we can easily park ourselves.
There's something down there.
Oh, yes, there is something down there. It looks like it must possibly be a hidden door. But look at here.
It's stuck.
Well, we have the oil can. However, there's a problem.
The elevator's in the way.
So let's climb up these, this ladder of sorts, and go in here, see what we can find. Now, this has bothered me for years. be nice if we could see where this goes, but unfortunately there's no way to go down that part of the shaft, so just keep going. Bada bing, bada boom. We are in the library. If someone's coming. So, you don't want to get caught, you gotta hide back in the duct. And it's Dexter.
Okay, I hear you. Darn you, crazy old man. I know you hid that thing around here somewhere. The least you could have done was left me a hint. I don't have time to clean this up.
Alright, before I go in there to explore, there's one thing I want to get. At least, I don't need to go back to, I can go back to get it after looking in the library, but I don't want to make several trips, so I'm going to go back and find it. Well, I can't get it yet because it's not there. When Jock leaves, what I didn't pick up before was a paintbrush, which you're going to need for something within the library, but I'll wait to show you. Okay, and despite what it says at 5 o'clock, he actually does not leave till 6, so that's one little goof in the animation of within the game here. I think there's at least one more dead end I'd like to want to show you, not that it really makes any matter, but it's just, if you think that the lead to the tower is anywhere in any of these corners up here, you're, well, dead wrong.
Yet another dead end.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't resist throwing the little pun in there. If you look at my few earliest videos that I've started as a YouTuber, I like to tell jokes with puns and get a laugh out of those. Get a laugh out of those videos if you watch them, and I'll definitely be making more, but I would also like to go in a new direction with my YouTube channel by making walkthroughs of these games. I think I already went down this corner. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be having a snack in the meantime while playing, so I'll try not to talk while I'm eating or drinking, but just to let you guys a heads up. Let me think. I think I just have to wait for Jacques to be gone so I can go get that paintbrush. I think maybe by 6 or 7 the fire has stopped. Not that it's a huge deal, but just saying what I'm found. While I'm waiting for that, let me just show you around a little more. So here's the part where I haven't gone yet. Here's the library on the, well, the door to the library on the first floor, and here is the elevator. And if you look here, there seems to be something hidden in the wall, some kind of doorway, lead to a tunnel perhaps. Well, we'll wait and see where it leads. I'll go down in the elevator and wait till he goes. Oh, to help kill the time, if you'll pardon the pun again, I did want to point out that in these games, at least in some of the earliest ones, when it comes to time, you'll notice that the time goes faster than it does in real life. So the time changes, it goes like every 15-minute slot, but in our real time, each 15-minute interval takes maybe like 2 minutes. Definitely a little under 5. I know some of the later games actually play out as if they're real time, or some don't have watches or clocks on them to show you the time, but just so you know, like, games like this one you can change from day to night, so yeah, there is a clock there to show you what the time is, but of course it's not going as if it's the time of a real hour. So yeah, I thought so. It would be 4:45 now. And let me just stand in the elevator here to wait for Jacques to go so I can take that paintbrush. Ooh, 1929. Well, I guess Ezra Wickford completed the castle around that time or before. I thought it said 1920 in that pamphlet. Let's see. Okay, it's not 6 yet, so he won't be there. Okay, 6 o'clock. He should be gone by now, so I can take that brush. You know, it looks open, but if you go, didn't mean to go forward, if you'll pardon that. Yep, bada bing, he's gone, and grab the brush.
Jacques must be gone.
Okay, now let's go back to the library and do all the exploring there is. Okay, let's go down the stairs here. All I can say is, wow, just like Dexter said, someone hacked a big hole in one of the walls, although hacking, I'm not sure if that's right, the word. Someone looks like someone tore through it, obviously, though. Sure is dusty, so yeah. And what this is going to be used for is telling us the keypad code to the library's alarm system. First, we have to look at this. Anytime you see books like these, or anything you can zoom up on in these earliest games, might want to do it. It may not seem significant, but littlest things have those biggest surprises. So, this is showing us that on a map at 90 degrees, that's where Wisconsin is. That's the state in which Nancy is now. Yeah, called the dairy state. So I knew milk was the main beverage. Milk happens to be one of my favorite drinks. Let's see. Here's a picture of Marie Antoinette, and it looks like, could it have been inside that tower that we're looking for? Let's see. Oh, now that we're here, let's use this brush to just figure out the code to this to the alarm system. Now remember, darkest fingerprint means it's the first, the lightest is the last, so that means this is 3*72. Let's test it. Disarmed. Alright, look, there's this book that Hotchkiss wrote about Marie Antoinette. Ooh, I know all too well that purple is a traditional color of royalty or majesty. One of my favorite Disney films, Frozen, Elsa used to be queen, but only once did she wear purple and a purple cape in the original movie when she was crowned queen. Frozen 2, she did wear a purple nightgown, which definitely looked, I was happy to see that. Purple's not a color she usually wears, but I was hoping they would show her in purple, something to show her role as queen. So, remember that map of Wisconsin in that book at 90 degrees. We have to have it on there, so this will open up. And it looks like some kind of well, some kind of, I don't know, code's the right word, but something to follow to open something in here, maybe. But I mean, these series of numbers to unlock, definitely to unlock something. So click on this. Actually, there's the picture of this thing, whatever you want to call it, from that picture in the globe. So what we'll do is just go the sequence of the numbers it gives. -15. So we'll hit, after we do that, we hit green, because it's just like a stop. Like if we push this, that'll reset. So I mean, I figured this out the first time I played it. Just hard, common sense, really. So 10, and now to -5. Click on that. Oh, it sounds like something's opening up here. In here, what could it be? Is this little message a clue, perhaps? Probably. Whoa, baby. The infamous, the tiara. Yeah, so the tiara given to her for her birthday by her husband had the diamond with an emerald, sapphire, and ruby. Horrified by its extravagance, she refused to reveal the whereabouts, and the places of the diamond and its other stones remains a mystery. A mystery that's about to finally be solved. Now, let's see what that sound opened up. It's Ezra Wickford's study. And it's so dark in here, so there's a lighter right there.
It's so dark in here.
Take the key. Here's a letter from Ezra, as it turns out, to Dexter. Looks like Ezra collected butterflies and other bug species. So as these books reveal, Ezra adopted Dexter when he was a kid. Oh, sesquicentennial. I could easily spell that without ever having looked it up, and well, it's true. I won a school spelling bee when I was in the 4th grade, and over the years I've remained an excellent speller. That I think I can spell some words I probably never even actually saw in readings before. I mean, and it's probably the longest word in the English dictionary, but I can spell anti-disestablishmentarianism. I'll write it down for you, though. Okay. Looks like he did good as a kid. However, Dexter also had his dark side. As that letter from Ezra said, he stole $50 from his wallet, and he got caught in some other offenses as an adolescent delinquent. And unfortunately, Dexter's delinquency led to Ezra disowning him and disinheriting him. It's a shame. Okay, so, well, before I forget, are you serious? I have to light it again to come in here? Oh well. I never came back a second time after doing this, now that I think about it. So there's something that Ezra left for Dexter. Go out to the garden, my old thinking spot, my refuge in hours of dread. So it looks like there's a little place outside the castle that Ezra had for himself, where he's left something for Dexter. Okay. remember Lisa mentioned all those, maybe it's Ezra's ghosts making those creepy noises at night. Well, here are some of the noises starting. But what could actually be making those sounds? Ghosts, no. There's someone else at work here. Well, okay. Let's see what that could be. Well, now that I know that I've gained Professor Hotchkiss's trust, I will set my alarm for 3 o'clock to speak with her. Before I forget it, talk to her, it turns out you can hear some more crash banging sounds here. I don't believe it's a ghost. There's someone making noises behind the walls or within the walls. If it's coming from behind the walls, that must mean someone's trying to get into the tower. Oh, one thing I forgot to do is, once Dexter is gone, get the key to the library from his desk. Because as it turns out, if we have the elevator on the bottom floor, it's in the way to get to through that door in the shaft. Perhaps that leads into the tower, but we're going to have to call the elevator to another floor.
Nancy, dear, welcome to the witching hour. Isn't it marvelous to be up and about when others are sound asleep? I find my brain waves are at their most powerful during this time.
Yes, this big old place does feel quiet at this hour. But do you think everyone is really asleep? I mean, if this is the only time you're away from your room, when else could you have been robbed?
You're right on that. This is the only time that someone could break into my room. But why are you so interested in this robbery anyway?
I'm thinking this robbery and the library vandalism might be linked somehow. If you told me what was taken from you, maybe I could put the pieces together.
I'd like to tell you more about the robbery, but I'm afraid it just wouldn't be good for my blood pressure. I'm traumatized, you see, because the stolen item was a keepsake from a dear friend, and it was a cornerstone of my theory. I'm sure you understand.
Have you checked your room for clues? Usually the thief leaves some sort of evidence behind.
Clues, you say? I guess I haven't really looked. Oh, I've been utterly embroiled in my work.
Why are you conducting research here at the castle?
Well, you probably know by now that I'm a scholar of French history. My specialty is Marie Antoinette. Oh, poor Marie, the most misunderstood queen of the 18th century. Marie used to visit the very tower that now belongs to this castle. I'm convinced that this place holds evidence that will forever change the way the world views Marie. But the walls have ears, so I'd rather not say any more right now. If you're really interested, why don't you go up to my room and have a look around yourself? You've been such a great help to me, almost like an apprentice. Oh, I've always wanted an apprentice.
Wow, Professor, that's really generous of you. I'd love to learn more about your work, but are you sure you don't mind?
I insist. Your mind is like a ravenous monkey gobbling up every banana in its path. How can I stand in the way? Here's my extra pass key. I get back to work at 6 a.m. sharp, so just make sure you vacate the premises by 5:59. And put things back where you find them. It's all scientifically organized in there.
What did you mean when you said Marie Antoinette was misunderstood?
Everyone thought Marie did nothing but spend France's money on jewels and fancy soap for herself, while her people were starving. History books have upheld the myth that she was just a spoiled and heartless brat, but I don't believe it.
Why not?
I believe that she's been the victim of vicious rumors and lazy historians for too long, and that if the real story could be told, people would realize that Marie Antoinette was actually a good woman who wanted to help her people but didn't know how.
Do you know anything about a tiara that was given to Marie Antoinette?
The infamous tiara, of course! Oh, people thought Marie had this extravagant piece commissioned for herself, and they hated her for it. But really, it was her husband, King Louis XVI, who had it made for her birthday. Oh, she didn't want it, refused to wear it, and then, a few months before the revolution broke out, the tiara disappeared.
What do you mean it disappeared?
It was never found. There were rumors that she had it destroyed, but no one has ever been able to prove this.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Now that we've talked to her, let's go through the library. First, we gotta call it. Okay, and so we gotta have the elevator on the first floor to get it out of the way so I can get to that door in the shaft. So, gotta unlock the door. I know the code, so go forward twice, turn around, and disable the system. Now you can keep going. Okay, now that that's there, have it out of the way, but of course there's always a trick. Now this is a random puzzle, so every time you go it's going to change. It's never the same. Well, that was lucky. Sign. Someone's getting to get in the tower. It's getting closer and louder when I get... Who could it be? Jacques! What are you doing here?
Nancy! What are you doing here?
Excuse me, shouldn't we ask you that question?
Don't you think I should be asking you that question?
I can explain, Nancy, but please, don't tell anyone that you found me here. If I get sent back to France, my fiancé will give up on me, and I will have let down my family again.
How can you expect me to keep quiet while you go around destroying the castle? If you're willing to saw through this gate, then you must be the one who wrecked the library too.
Nancy, I had nothing to do with what happened in the library. I swear, the tower holds a valuable French historical document. If I can find it and return it to France, perhaps I can make up for my failure at the Olympics.
What kind of document?
The tower first belonged to the Chateau Rochemont in France. When Ezra Wickford bought the tower, My great-grandfather was the master carpenter in charge of dismantling it and preparing it for shipment. One day, when he was working alone, he found a secret compartment in one of the walls.
Then what happened?
Inside, he found an old journal with a royal crest on the cover and a medallion with a strange blue stone in it. But he heard other carpenters coming, so he hid the medallion in his pocket and sealed the journal back in the compartment. Before he could get back to study the journal and return the medallion, the tower was dismantled and shipped to America. He never learned who the journal belonged to or what it said.
What happened to the medallion?
I have the medallion now, and I'm hoping if I can get into the tower, I can find the journal too. You see, he thought if he told his story, Ezra Wickford might get angry, accuse him of interfering with the project, and try to ruin his name as a carpenter. So he kept quiet.
So, how do you know all of this?
I was his only great-grandson. On his deathbed, he gave me the medallion and told me the whole story. He begged me to come here to Wisconsin to find the journal and return it to France.
You must feel a real sense of responsibility to carry out your great-grandfather's dying wish.
Oh yes, of course. But it's not just for my great-grandfather. It is for France. The journal bore a royal seal. It must have belonged to Marie Antoinette, because she used to visit the tower during the Revolution. So perhaps it contains her confessions, or perhaps it contains proof of her innocence. Either way, the contents of that journal could change French history forever.
I just don't see how you can think that journal will still be up there after all these years.
I know it's possible that someone found the secret compartment when the tower was being put back together, but I have to check anyway. I just have to know, Nancy. Do you think you could help me? Let me show you this medallion, and maybe you'll be able to tell me what it's for.
I don't know, Jacques. You seem pretty desperate. Why should I believe that you're not the library vandal?
Oh, Nancy, you must believe me. I would never try to destroy that beautiful library. After all, most of those books are French. Now will you help me? I think this medallion will interest you. And maybe you'll have some idea what it's for. It's in my locker. Will you go get it while I take care of something? The combination is 2665. I'll meet you in the locker room in a minute.
Okay, Jacques. I am intrigued. I'll see you downstairs.
Oh, you are the best, Nancy.
Don't mention it.
I completely forgot to look in Professor Hotchkiss's room, which I wanted to do before this, because there's something important in there that you need to see. And it's watching a video, but on a camcorder, but the battery needs to be reset for at least a day, so I wanted to do that first. So let's do this quick, and then we'll go get Jacques' medallion.
It's locked.
Oh, right, her passkey. She claims that she has a lot in common with Marie Antoinette. There are her boots. Okay, here's the video.
Testing. Can anyone hear me? Hotchkiss to Earth. Come in, Earth. Oh, okay. I think we're rolling. Now, let's get a look at these hallways. So rich in detail. You'd never know this place was built in 1920. It's all so 18th C. Oh, and there's Marie. I feel so close to her just being here. It's as if her spirit is in the air, sweet as the smell of fried chicken.
Okay, the battery went dead, so now we gotta charge it. So the next time I come, it'll be ready. Okay, there's an important letter in here. I'll bring this up again later. You can look at this, but there's nothing there, so it means we'll probably have to look there again later. Now let's go get the medallion. So apparently it was Jacques making all those noises, trying to get into the tower. Although, funnily enough, some of that banging and everything, that sure wasn't a saw. So this is where we can get in on Jocksucker. So let's open it up. Okay, before I grab it, let's look at a couple of things. Here's a letter from his fiancée, Isabel. Warning notice from the immigration officials. Ooh, what happened? Ooh, someone hit Nancy.
Ouch! Someone must have knocked me out. Headache headquarters. Nancy here.
Nancy, it's Jacques. What happened? Are you okay?
I don't really know what happened. I opened your locker like you said, and then it was lights out Nancy.
But you do have my medallion, right?
It was the last thing I saw, but I sure don't have it now.
Oh la la, you can't be serious.
I'm afraid I am serious. I have no idea what happened to it.
This is too much. Oh la la, unbelievable.
So as it turns out, we do have...
Welcome to the voicemail system. Please press 0 to retrieve messages. First message.
Yeah, Miss Drew. This is Dexter at the front desk. Can you come down when you're feeling better? I need to talk to you for a minute. Thanks.
To go to the second message.
Nancy, this is your mentor speaking. Things are looking uncommonly out of sorts in here. I just hope I haven't had another intruder. Please remember that passkey I gave you is not for sharing.
To leave the system. Thank you. Goodbye.
Alright, so Dexter wants to talk to us. Let's go see what he wants. I'm gonna turn down the volume a little.
Dear George, so much for my Wisconsin ski vacation.
Okay. Alright, let's go talk to him. Before I do that, let's talk to Lisa.
So what'd you find in the library?
How do you know I was in the library?
Oh, come on, Nancy. You've been on the prowl. I can tell by the sparkle in your eye.
Wow, is it that obvious? I guess I'll have to work on my poker face.
I knew it! So, what'd you find in there? Dead bodies? Ezra Wickford's icky childhood bug collection?
Why would you find dead bodies in a library?
Actually, I did find a secret room of Ezra Wickford's, but no bodies or treasure. There were a few bugs, now that you mention it.
Really? What else? Do tell.
I found out that Dexter actually grew up here with Ezra, until he started getting in trouble with the law and Ezra disowned him. Can you believe it?
That is weird. You're such the detective, Nancy. I can't wait to hear what you find out next.
Did you know Professor Hotchkiss published a book on Marie Antoinette?
Yeah, I looked her up on the internet. The critics panned the book. Looks like other historians think she's a real quack.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Keep me posted.
Okay, so it turns out that you can actually have a third voicemail, one of which is from Lisa. So I'm showing you how to do it. First you have to tell her, at least, I think even if you deny it, you can still do it, but you have to, at least first step is telling her you were in the library.
Well, if it isn't Dexter's little Cinderella.
Then this, you have nothing to say, but
I'll
you
let
have
you
to,
get back to your magazine.
Later, Nancy.
then you go again.
Ever find out what Hotchkiss lost?
So then if you click on this reply, you'll make her mad and she won't talk to you, but that'll be the catalyst for getting the voicemail.
Yeah, well, she still won't tell me what was stolen. Seems like she's suspicious of everyone.
Fine, don't trust me. But don't expect me to cover for you next time you're snooping around in that elevator shaft. Can't you see I'm reading?
Okay, so she's mad, but let's go ahead and talk to Dexter.
Thanks for coming down. I've been wanting to talk to you. How's your head? Did you slip or what?
I'm feeling much better, thanks. But what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
It's just that when I found you out cold in the basement and hauled you back to your room, I noticed all this red dirt on your shoes. I'm just curious where it came from.
Let's go ahead and confess to him we were in the corridor that leads to the tower.
Mr. Egan, I confess, I found my way into the corridor that leads to the Queen's Tower. As you probably know, the dirt in that tunnel is very red. I hope you won't consider this trespassing.
Nope. If you must know, I'm impressed. Ezra Wickford set that secret door up so nobody would be able to find it. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with getting into that tower. Ezra told me that if I could get through the secret door, he'd take me up to see the Queen's Tower. Finally, I got into the tunnel, and when I came out with that red dirt all over me, he laughed. He was actually proud of me.
Did Ezra Wickford have the dead-end corridors and stairways built on purpose, too?
Yeah, Ezra was a character. He always said he thought dead ends were funny. Ha ha. But the truth was, he was worried sick about being robbed. Maybe it made him feel better to think that a crook would get caught this way.
What a strange security system. So, was there ever a robbery?
Well, not exactly. A mistake was made. Only a small thing, but it didn't take much for him to give up on people. Anyway, I'd say you earned the right to check out the tower for yourself. But you gotta get through that gate, right? There's an old skeleton key in the maintenance shed. Now that the storm's passed, you can go out and get it. But be careful. It's still dead cold out there.
Okay, so you can ask him questions after you found out that he lived with Dexter. I would have done this sooner, but he leaves at 7:30, so I didn't, and it may not make much sense now, but I want to get these questions out of the way, so let's go ask.
So, did you grow up around here?
You could say that.
Did you know the original owner, Ezra Wickford, when he lived here?
You could say that.
Did you know him well?
Did you know him well?
They call it the past for a reason, okay? Because it's over.
So, do you know if Ezra Wickford had a place where he liked to go and think? Someplace he thought of as a refuge?
There was a private area of the garden. Yeah. The entrance was hidden, so no one could bother him there.
Were you allowed to go out there?
Once in a while he'd bring me out there and teach me about his favorite flowers, but that was like 100 years ago.
Do you think I could go check it out?
Forget about it. There's nothing out there but dead weeds and crumbling statues.
No, we got all those done, so let's just ask.
I don't want to press my luck with you, but I sure would like to see Ezra's private garden. Could you tell me how to find it?
It's nothing but wasteland out there. If you're bent on tromping around in the cold, go left when you get outside, away from the shed. Look for a wrought iron gate. You'll figure out the rest.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
Bye, kiddo.
So, let's go outside. Find the key. Oh, yeah, Jacques gone, it's... Alright. Now let's look up, see what the shed has to offer. There's these. Looks like we have to use them at some point. And this here tells us how they have to be set. This is for activating the ski lift. You can look out the window here. That's what it means to. Okay, right here is an article in the Daily Telegraph. Now let's get the key. It's right here. I think that's everything in here. Now let's go outside. There's Ezra's private garden. Turn around here. No trespassing. We just said it. And we open it here. And that's supposed to be a stone head of Ezra. turn this arrow, it's going to turn his head. Oh, looks like there's a lever there, so let's turn this all the way. Let's open it up. And that must be what this key is for. And we're given a medallion with a red stone. Oh, and now that we found this, I want to mention each time we find something big, we get this little piece of celebration music. I'm going to go back inside, but I'm going to wait till the music ends. Yet. Oh, yeah, he is. But he doesn't have good things to say now.
Nancy, I still cannot believe you lost my medallion. How could you have been so careless?
I wasn't exactly careless, you know, and I didn't lose your medallion either. But I don't have it. Where were you, anyway? Weren't you supposed to meet me?
When I showed up, you were having a catnap on the floor. I would be ruined by you American women.
Having a catnap? She didn't fall asleep.
Guess you'd better stay away from me then. Goodbye.
Au revoir, little Miss Nightmare. Look, keep the stupid medallion. It's yours.
So you can't talk to him anymore, but frankly we won't need to. Okay, so go talk to Lisa. She's still mad.
Can't you see I'm reading?
But there is a chain of events now that we found this one medallion. First I want to talk to Ezra about the article.
You've been holding out on me, Mr. Egan. I read in an old issue of the Daily Telegraph that you grew up here, right in this castle.
All right. I did live here for a few years, once upon a time. I was an orphan until Ezra Wickford came along and adopted me. But I left the castle when I was 16, and I never saw him again. That's the story, all right?
But why did you leave?
Some things can't be explained, kid. It was a long time ago, and nothing can change it now.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
Goodbye.
Okay. But look here, this is red, so we've got a new message. And
Welcome to the voicemail system. Please press 0. First message.
Yeah, Miss Drew. This is Dexter at the front desk. Can you come down when you're feeling better? I need to talk to you for a minute. Thanks.
To go to the next message, press 2. Second message.
Nancy, this is your mentor speaking. Things are looking uncommonly out of sorts in here. I just hope I haven't had another intruder. Please remember that passkey I gave you is not for sharing.
To go to the next message, press 2. Third message.
Hi, Nance. It's Lisa. Sorry if I acted like a brat before. This article's got me a little stressed. Anyway, we have to be friends so we can gossip about all the suspicious activity around here, right? Wait till you hear what I just saw. Come talk. Bye.
To leave the system, please press 3. Thank you. Goodbye.
okay, so and that's how you get the third message. It's not vital, but at least if you get her to get mad at you, that has to be done to then tell her what, get her to say what you need to hear from her.
Glad you came down to talk. Get this. I saw Dexter walking out to the maintenance shack with this, like, green ornament thing in his hand. He's up to something, right? Maybe you should check it out.
Thanks for the tip, Lisa. I think I will. Want to come along?
Thanks, Nancy, but you're the brainiac. I'll just guard this comfy chair and wait for your report.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Stay warm.
So let's go outside, see what it is. Green ornament. Then it must be a medallion with a green stone. Oh, there it is. And ew, it's a rat. Another victory music. Oh, so those are the seats.
It's freezing out here.
So I want to get inside.
I've locked out.
So I locked us out.
Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Sha, can you hear me? Sha! Gosh, I can hardly feel my toes. If I don't get inside soon, I'll freeze to death.
We gotta hurry. Gotta do something quick. But what can we do while we're out here? This, we can activate the ski lift. An SOS message. And that's how you do it.
What the? What's going on out here? Is that you, Nancy? Come inside. It's freezing out here. What kind of a stunt was that, Missy?
Sorry about that, but I was locked out.
Well then, what can I say, except good thinking?
Luckily, we don't need to go back outside. You can still go out and get this if you didn't look for it the first time, but you won't have a near fatal encounter again.
Nancy, I heard you got locked out. You could have frozen to death. So, what was Dexter hiding out there?
I don't know. It just looked like your average maintenance shed to me. So, next time you give me a hot tip, Lisa, it better come with some earmuffs.
Huh, I thought for sure I was onto something. I still think Dexter's shady. I'd keep an eye on him if I were you.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Keep me posted.
Alright, that's done. Now we've got the key, so let's find our way into the tower. Oh, and in case I didn't mention it, when we come out of the corridor there, that's where this door leads, but you can only come out of it. You can't go in it. Let's see. Let's go back into the library. Okay, so apparently there are 3 medallions. We got that one with the blue stone and this red stone one, and now this. And if you remember that letter from the Baroness in Hotchkiss's room, it mentions a medallion, which is this. So this is obviously the item that's been stolen from her room. But what was the thief's motive? Well, we'll find out in a bit. Now remember, go forward twice and then turn around to disable the alarm. If you try to keep going without disabling the alarm, you're going to get caught. And if Dexter surprises you with it, it's not funny. He makes me jump when he gets mad. He's a creepy looking guy when he's mad, and I spook easily, so I do not like to get surprised by him. Now, let's go. Now let's go. Again, like I said, they're random, so it's always going to change, but luckily I think I'll only have to do this one more time afterwards. That's annoying, but it could be worse. Oh, perfect. Now, let's go and find the tower. Here's this red magnifying glass. Looks like a top of an axe here, which we'll need for later. That's where Jacques tried to saw his way in, but now we have the key, so let's use it. Okay, whoa, how do we get across this pit? Well, as it turns out, these chains need to be at the same pattern as these stone tiles, whatever they are. So let's, alright. Looks like some kind of prison.
Looks like some kind of prison.
Okay, now here, some of the steps are cut off, so we have to play this game to get in. And I've played this so many times, I've memorized where they go to, so that way I don't have to back up and reset it. Okay. Okay, that goes there. There we go. Now you hear stone scraping, because that's the, or scraping sound with stones, that's the stairs coming up. Before I go inside the tower, ooh, we're here. What this does is retract them. So you try to go down, you're trapped. Oop, wouldn't want that to happen. So I'll just put them back out again. Here we are inside the tower. Isn't it pretty? Oh, and look, picture of Marie.
Looks like a keyhole of some sorts.
It is, but we'll find out what goes there. And here's a puzzle. Now the centerpieces are all in the right place. But so I have to do the border to put them in the right spot. Now if it was Senior Detective, the puzzle would be all mixed up. Let's see. And done this many times I could practically do it in my sleep. Can't memorize where everything goes, but the corner pieces are easy to do. And then you'll see like these parts down here, wrong place. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm almost through. Okay. It's the journal, like Jacques said. And of course it's all in French. But we don't want to give it to Jacques. Let's ask Professor Hotchkiss. So let's set the alarm for 3 a.m. so we can speak to her. Ooh, but first, before I do that, I want to go to the check out her room and watch the end of that video. Oh, 3 a.m. Okay, and what you may notice now that I figured out it was Jacques behind the noises, we're not going to hear any more of those at night. Because now that he no longer has the medallion, he's not trying to find his way in the tower anymore. Okay. Let's here watch the...
It's locked.
Why did I thought I was grabbing the passkey. Okay. So now that should be fully charged. Let's watch the end.
Oh, what's this? It appears to be some kind of peephole. But what, pray, does it peep upon? Shall I peep? La la! I do believe I'll peep. Oh, the beauty, the colors. So this is what Helga told me to look for. Where's my medallion? It fits! Note to self, high five Team Hotchkiss! And what's this? A message? Eureka! It says the diamond!
Alright, so that's the very end, but it cuts off before we try anything. So we'll have to go to that spot in the corridor to see what it is. But look here now. It's the medallion with the blue stone. Whoever had stolen the greenstone medallion from Hotchkiss's room put this in here. I mean, it was the person who stole it from his locker. Another victory music. Let's make use of that by going into the hall corner here. See what we find with the medallion. French phrases and some symbols, it looks like. Using the greenstone, here's the message. Looks like the diamond. So it looks like that was what Hotchkiss found. So, since I've played this game so many times, I've memorized these phrases, but I'll let her explain what they mean. And I took French when I was in high school. I don't remember much of it now. I mean, I can remember some, but I'm better at translating words than actually speaking them. Alright, now let's talk to her.
Hello, my fellow night owl. Or perhaps I should say hoot hoot. Ooh, did you find anything of interest in my room?
I did pop in there, though interesting doesn't begin to describe the place. Would you mind if I went back another time?
Of course not. Pop in all you like, just not when I'm working.
What does l'espoir à ceux qui cherchent mean?
Let's see. Well, espoir is hope, and chercher is to search. Hope to those who search.
Can you translate this for me? Le diamant de misère dans mon journal.
Now, where the heck have I seen that phrase before? Well, anyway, it means the diamond of misery in my journal.
Can you tell me what this means in English? La solution se trouve dedans.
Well, trouver is to find, and solution is just like it sounds. Solution. The solution is found within.
I saw a letter on your desk from your friend, the Baroness von Hanseldorf. And I'm just wondering, did the medallion she gave you have a blue stone in it by any chance?
Heavens, no! Where did you hear such a thing? My medallion had a green stone in it. Anything else would be a mere imposter. A flaming faker, do you hear me?
Yeah, so that proves then that the medallion is what was stolen from
What do you think
her.
of Lisa Ostrom?
That Leslie, yes, a real dynamo, but... I told Chester that I would not require any maid service during my stay. I don't know why she didn't get the message.
I found something that I think you'll be very interested in. It seems to be some kind of journal. I think it was written by Marie Antoinette herself.
What? Let me see that. This is it. I've been trying to track this down for 15 years. Where on earth did you find it?
Well, it's a long story, but I happened to find a way into the Queen's Tower, where I happened to find a secret compartment. I think this must be what the vandal was after.
Nancy, I must warn you. I'll wrestle you for this if I have to, and it won't be pretty.
I'm sure physical combat won't be necessary, Professor. I'm glad to help you with your work, but I need your assistance in return. You're fluent in French, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'll get to work on it right away. I'll have the translation ready in my room for you this time tomorrow. Until then, I mustn't be disturbed.
Alright, so now it's set to 6 o'clock, so let's just set for the next day when we can finally read it, and we're near the very end of the case.
So glad you stopped by. I've translated the entire journal. It's fabulous. And as an added bonus, it includes Marie's official decoder, something no one else has ever found before.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Okay, so let's stop by her room and see what she's talking about. Okay, so now she's translated it. Now you'll notice here, the stones that were part of the tiara, the sapphire, the emerald, and the ruby are all in these medallions now because it's been dismantled. But where's the diamond is the final question. So these are bold and italicized because it references these stones and what they mean. And now this decoder here.
I think I see what the symbols in the stained glass mean now. Let's see. Purple rose, hold diamond, key of queen. But where have I seen a purple rose? And what's a diamond key?
So they honor, courage, and loyalty. This will be the final time. We're almost at the end.
It's locked.
Go in here, of course, and then there's the random puzzle again, of course. Oh, perfect. When there's no mistakes like that there.
It's locked.
Yeah, still have to go that way. Alright, we're almost there. Now I said, prison. Purple, rose, hold, diamond, key of queen. Those are the symbols from those medallions. So now a purple rose is long gone by now from Marie's time, but there is a purple rose somewhere that has a clue. Right here. And see?
I need
something to pry the tiles off. Well, that's what this is for. Alright. And so that said there was a keyhole, so this is where we put those, representing what symbols they mean. What did it say? Which one is which? Okay, it said, so, okay, courage is red, that's that symbol. Courage, loyalty is green, and then honor is blue. And so then we put the keyhole in, it should go down, and it reveals, ta-da, the diamond!
The diamond! Whoa! Will you look at that sparkly rock? And me without my sunglasses.
Hi, Lisa.
Lisa.
How did you get in here?
I followed you, of course. Turns out a nosy, goody-two-shoes detective is good to have around after all. Now, why don't you toss me that big honkin' diamond so I can blow this popsicle stand and never set foot in lame-o, Wisconsin again?
Lisa, you must be kidding me. This diamond belongs in a museum in France.
Yeah? Well, I belong in the lap of luxury, and that diamond's gonna get me there. Hasn't anybody ever told you to mind your own business?
Oh, many times.
Many times.
Well, maybe this time you'll learn.
My eyes!
Don't worry. My spicy devil
kind of
villain
pepper
venom
spray,
won't
I
last
guess.
for long. But I'm afraid by the time you get your eyes back, you'll have missed my grand exit.
Okay, so you can delay her by asking her questions, and as I said, yours are plainly, I figured out the order, the sequence in which you can ask her all of them.
So you're the one who trapped me in the elevator.
Ooh, you
did
are a
everything.
smarty pants. But let's not forget about your little frostbite incident. I'm the rotten friend who locked you outside too, you know. Just trying to keep you on your toes, Nancy. Didn't want you to get soft on your vacation.
Are you the one who caught me on the head in the locker room?
Ouch. I bet that hurt. But I had to get the medallion somehow, didn't I? I hope we can still be friends.
Be friends after this? Are you kidding me?
Why did you leave Jacques' medallion at Hotchkiss's room? And Hotchkiss's medallion out in the shed?
To spread suspicion around, of course. You know, to play with your mind. Plus, I was at a dead end. I got the 2 messages from the stained glass window, but then what? I knew you would figure it out, so I decided to put the medallions in your hands and let you lead the way.
Why are you doing this?
Haven't you heard? It's a material world, sister, and I am a material girl. Photojournalism pays peanuts, you know, and who wants to work for a living anyway? I was made for a tropical climate, lounge chairs and cabana boys.
Why did you have to vandalize that beautiful library?
Just a little translation mix-up.
So it turns
When I
out
read
she
the
is
message
fluent
from
in
Hotchkiss's
languages,
medallion,
including French.
I thought it
but
meant
mistranslation.
Diamond of Misery in the library. Whoops, guess I went a little overboard looking for it in there. Anyway, enough with the questions, Nancy. You'll just have to read the rest in the papers.
Oh, no, you don't. But remember, she's going down the stairs.
I gotta
and
stop
there's a
her.
way to stop her. We hit this, remember?
Ah! Help! Get me out of here! It stinks down here. It's all moldy. Darn you, Nancy Drew. You're the worst friend a diamond thief could ever have.
Dear Dad, to think I almost became friends with a diamond thief. Everyone at Wickford Castle is resting easy now that Marie Antoinette's journal and her famous diamond are safe and sound. The journal, the diamond, and the medallions are all going to be featured in a new Marie Antoinette exhibit in Paris. And it looks like everyone will be rewarded. Except Lisa, of course. First, she missed her plane to Rio, and now she's going to be charged with attempted grand theft. Professor Hotchkiss is thrilled because the French government has granted her permission to publish Marie's journal in the U.S. before it gets returned to France. This ought to help prove her theory about Marie's character once and for all. Thanks to Jacques and his great-grandfather's efforts to find the journal, the Brunet name is being celebrated all over France. In the meantime, Jacques and Isabelle have eloped. It's so romantic. I showed Dexter the poem that Ezra Wickford wrote him, and he was relieved to know that his old pop didn't carry any hard feelings to his grave. All the talk shows want Dexter to tell his story on national television, but he keeps turning them down. I guess he doesn't want to be famous or infamous. But when Christy Lane called and asked Dexter to be her business partner, he accepted. With her business sense and Dexter's expert knowledge of the castle, I think they'll make a great team. So, you know what they say, Dad? Il n'est jamais trop tard de changer l'histoire. It's never too late to change history. Me, I'm determined to go out and enjoy this snow before some other case comes up. See you soon. Love, Nancy.
And there you have it with my first full walkthrough of the Nancy Drew game. So as I said at the beginning, I've always wanted to be able to play walkthroughs because I love these games and I love to be a, whatever you call it, YouTuber, a gamer, doing these sort of things, but I never really took the opportunity to learn how to do it. I just thought it would be too complicated. Learning how to record a computer screen as you play it, because obviously you're not using a camera, but Arglefunk has always been one of my favorite gamers, YouTubers, and so I've just been asking him for tips on how to do it, and the last week I've been learning how to do it, reading up on how to use the kind of software and make videos. Right now I'm using an old Windows server of mine, and I actually had my old CD-ROM of Treasure in the Royal Tower, but it's so old that when I play it, the audio, the music is out of sync with the visuals in the scenes, like at the beginning and the end, that parts get cut off, that when I decided to try a walkthrough, I wanted to start with a clean slate and try downloading it from the website, which I did. So that's what this is, and it's running very well, as you can see. So I think this walkthrough, this recording of it, went off without a hitch. So if you're wondering if there will be more walkthroughs of Nancy Drew games for me in the future, you can bet on it. I'll start off with the earliest games, because those are the easiest to do. But have to think about Secrets and Kill, because I no longer have the old CD-ROM of it, since that's one been discontinued. But I'll play another one soon. But I wanted to start off with this because it's the very first game I ever played and solved. And so that ends this narration here. See you all next time. Bye-bye.